Oh, this is Mike too. Yeah, I'm on two.
Yeah, you're on two. All right, so
Yeah.
I'm on one. Let's see. Let me get my microphone ready. Um, all right, Dad, can you hear us coming through loud and clear just fine?
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good. I'm in phone. And then here, I need to change to my right earbud and not my left.
Oh, so you're gonna have producer in your ear. Okay. That's fine. I know.
All right, Sandman. Let's see here. Are Brittany and Peyton's cameras coming through clear? Camera 2 should be Peyton. I've just looked at her and gave her the phone signal so you can add her to the call. Yeah, she's standing there. She's staring at her phone, so she's ready. And let's see here. And then I've got my ad on my iPad in front of me. Rosters on my iPad. I've got some notes that
Yeah.
I've got written down.
Yeah. So I just texted you. The rosters are not accurate really at all.
Really?
Yeah. So I just texted you screenshots of. That's why on because he changed numbers quite a bit before the first game.
Evening, El Dorado Wildcat fans. We're coming to you live from Little Rock Christian today. And to get us started off, we're going to talk about today's keys to the game. And so it's time for the keys to the game, brought to you by Malone Auto Group. The mailman always delivers with over 200 brand new vehicles and more than 150 quality previously owned options. You're sure to find the perfect ride. Now with this week's keys to the game, here's the voice of the Wildcats, Carter Bryant.
Yeah, let's get it. Big shout out to Jason Hardy as well for giving us a great pregame sponsor. Jason and I have been friends for forever, like a good neighbor. Jason Hardy is always there for you. Wildcat football ready to take this team to the next level. It'll be a bit of a youth movement with this year's team on top of what should be a phenomenal quarterback tonight. And here's what's fascinating, Jax. Tonight, El Dorado might actually be playing quarterback that they play all season long on their schedule. You don't want to miss out on tonight's action because this quarterback is committed to Henderson State, and his name is Kemp Keller. Kemp Keller, I love that name. Number 3, he trains locally with a former UCA quarterback, Will McIlvain, and Kemp can flat out play. But what's really fascinating tonight is that it's a juxtaposition of the quarterbacks where the starter for Little Rock Christian is more of a pocket quarterback. El Dorado's quarterback, one that you all know and love, is number 8 in Jacobs. He can actually move with his legs. He has rushed for over 600 yards multiple seasons now for El Dorado. So to me tonight, yeah, that's what's going to be the difference. I think Cannon's going to run pretty well tonight.
Yeah, you know what? I totally agree with you, Carter. You know, going into this week, I had a really good meeting with Coach Hill, and we talked a lot about Cannon's mobility, his ability just to make a defense pay. If they crash out too hard on coverage and they leave the middle open, I mean, we can expect 10 to 15 yards pretty easily with Cannon. His legs are good, his vision is good. I'm really excited to see what he can do, but don't keep man stacked in the box. Because he will make you pay with his ability to throw, his accuracy, and his ability to throw. So I'm excited. We've got some really, really good receivers coming in this year. And I'm just excited to see what kind of movement, what kind of shiftiness we have, and see what we can do against this type of defense with Little Rock Christian.
Once again, big thanks to Karl Malone and Jason Hardy, State Farm. I'm so happy to be on the call once again for the Wildcats. It's been close to a decade since I've been on the play-by-play, and I want to thank the Sanford family. Yes, we're crushing it all season long, and ladies and gentlemen, please bear with us. This is our first ever stream calling Wildcat games, and let me tell you what,
for kickoff now.
The team, the broadcast team tonight has worked long and hard to give you the best possible broadcast we could possibly give you tonight. We are set for kickoff here. El Dorado Wildcat fans, South Arkansas now. Woo-wee. El Dorado.
All right, and this kickoff is going to be brought to you by Equipment Share. Get your project kicked off right with Equipment Share with everything from pipe fitters to excavators, and it's going to be a touchback.
And here we go. The Jacobs era continues. Coach Chris Hill in the past has not actually worn a headset. It looks as if he has one on tonight. I spent a good bit of time earlier today talking with Mr. Coach Chris Borowski. He's been an El Dorado stalwart at all different levels of Wildcat football. So really excited to see what Cannon will do tonight. A few other players you need to know. Mr. Paxton Strong, number 10, is a wonderful H-back, but the star of the offense is J.J. Samuel. Jacobs takes the snap. It's to J.J. right here, and it's for a gain of only a couple. And we are underway.
Yeah, well, you know, Carter, when I had my conversation with Coach Hill, I really got to talk about philosophy of the game, and he is a run-and-gun kind of guy. He is going to play some smash-mouth football, and even though it's a game for a couple, I mean, we're already starting off strong with a gain, and excited to see how these guys are going to push through. We've got some really strong guys on the offensive line, and we just got to ask them to get a little bit of time.
5-wide formation here with Jacobs. Trips to the left, wins to the right. Jacobs, quick screen out here. Oh, good pitch and catch. A little shibbity-dibbity to the left side. That is number 4, Christian Williams, the sophomore. part of an undefeated ninth grade team last year. A lot of people are expecting this sophomore class to eventually get to Little Rock, whether it's this year, the next year, or the next. But, Jax, they're so talented, it might actually be this year.
Yeah, you know what? Coach Hill really talked about our young guys coming up. He said that we've got a lot of sophomores that were competing for starting spots. And, you know, I think that just drives the seniors just to work that much harder, knowing that a young guy can come in and take their spot. Coach Hill says that he's all about best man up, not oldest man up.
And we do have a penalty on the play. Looks like there is a little tug action going on, so El Dorado will be backed up. It is a hostile packed crowd on the home side. Here on the visiting side, El Dorado traveled pretty well. The band kind of tucked in a corner over there. And we'll see what El Dorado can do now. And now the punt team will have to come out deep in their own territory. And this is pretty normal on the road, hostile environment. El Dorado having to deal with a raucous crowd, and now they have to punt the football away.
Yeah, Carter, you know, definitely not something that you want to get started off with, a 3 and out, but penalties will do that to you. Penalties will set you back, and so we've just got to hope that we get a strong punt here, get good position on field, and hold Little Rock Christian scoreless here.
Cannon Jacobs back to punt. He's the quarterback, the punter. He'll sell you popcorn at the gate, and it is not a long punt. It'll be a punt of maybe 20-ish yards.
Well, Carter, that's definitely not the start that we want to the game. Not a good offensive execution, and definitely not a good punt there. However, it's still early in the game. We've still got a lot of opportunities here, and I strongly believe in this defense. We've got some really strong guys coming off of the defensive line, as well as strong guys in the linebacker position. Really high IQ players. In fact, one of the players that I'm probably the most impressed with is going to be our middle linebacker. Watching his film earlier in the week.
And here's Kemp with the handoff to the right side. Oh, and it is a good gain here on first down. A helmet off.
Looked like it was a Wildcat helmet came flying off of number 5.
And here we go, Wildcats. Kemp Keller, the Henderson State commit. Right leg sleeve, left arm sleeve. The Allen Iverson swag here. He was the one that started that all the way in yesteryear, and somehow it shifted over to football. This is a big LRCA offensive line lined up in pistol. Little zone handoff to the right side, and it should be enough for a first down. And for the second play in a row, El Dorado has a helmet fly off. Hopefully we are all good there. That is Jackson Ward, the senior, on the carry.
Yeah, Carter, definitely not something that we want to have happen. We don't want helmets flying off because that means coming out for at least one play, and we don't have time, we don't have the availability to have guys keep coming in and out of the game.
Kemp, once again, pistol formation. Little motion to the right side, trips here. El Dorado playing man-to-man coverage on that side. It's another handoff up the middle. And this is actually better run defense right here. How about that, Mr. Sanford?
Absolutely. A stop at the line is always going to be great. That's going to bring us down to a 2nd down and 8 with 9:15 left on the clock. Warriors with the ball on their own 19-yard line.
Once again, Jackson Ward, a heavy dosage of him. LRCA back to pass. Contain his loss to the right side. Kemp throws it. Oh, what a throw and catch. El Dorado played excellent defense.
Yeah, absolutely, Carter. The El Dorado did have really good strong out and get some space away from the defensive line. And that's one thing that we're going to have to be concerned about tonight is his ability to throw on the move. He's got a heck of an arm, and he's got accuracy. So it's something that we're going to have to stay strong against and keep an eye on, creating pressure, and hope that we create cracks in their offense and create mistakes.
Tristan Ward, sometimes you just have to just really tip your hat to the offense. That was one of the best rollout throws you'll see.
And the kick is good.
Extra point is absolutely perfect.
All right, and we will be right back after a quick break from our sponsors.
Located on 1,400 acres amidst Union County's scenic timberlands, LSB Industries' largest manufacturing facility and its employees have been a part of the El Dorado community for more than 40 years. Working together as one team, we are proud to call El Dorado home. Located on 1,400 acres amidst Union County's scenic timberlands, LSB Industries' largest manufacturing facility and its employees have been a part of the El Dorado community for more than 40 years. Working together as one team, we are proud to call El Dorado home.
Everything from pipe fitters to excavators. Get your project kicked off right with Equipment Share.
El Dorado's second possession already down 7. And it's a hostile environment here tonight at Little Rock Christian Academy. This is their second year playing 7A football. So once again, this is a step up in competition tonight for El Dorado. Whether or not they win or lose, this will be a good testing point to see where this roster is early in the season as they prepare for the rivalry game next week in Camden. And, of course, we'll have it for you on South Arkansas Now. We get the handoff here. It's a zone read pull to the right side. Jacobs a little shake and bake, but can't get anywhere. It'll go for no gain here as it sets up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, 2nd and 10 on the Wildcat 20. Warriors up 7-0. Man, Carter, the one thing I noticed is that we've got to get just a little bit more separation, a little bit more space with the offensive line. They've got to drive just a little bit harder, give Jacob a little bit more time to get some room to make something happen. We got to give our playmaker a chance here.
LRCA is a big roster. They've got some dudes up front to get the football out wide again to the sophomore. A little shake and bake. It was the same play that they ran on the first drive that was called back for a 10-yard loss. But once again, number 4, Christian Williams, only a sophomore. Well, it looks like he'll get a lot of touches tonight, Jax.
Yeah, you know what? And I really hope that Christian does get a lot of touches. As I was watching his film earlier this week, I noticed that he's really a shifty guy. He's got open field speed, and a lot of his opportunities are going to come on things like that, like screen passes out wide. So I hope he does get a lot of touches tonight, Carter.
Trips right. Cannon Jacobs. Oh, and it's slightly behind the tight end, Paxton Strong. I would not be shocked if he leads the team in receptions this year. He was open. The ball slightly behind him, and El Dorado's going to have to punt again.
Yeah, Carter, you know, it looks like Cannon is just rushing to get the throw off there, and he had a little bit of time. I think maybe it's just with the game just starting, first game of the season, he's got maybe just a little bit of jitters. Let's give him some time to settle in and see what he can make happen.
We know Cannon can flat out play. Tough start overall with this offense, and Jacobs, again, it is a bit of a squirter here to the right side, and it'll go for a 20-yard punt here. And so once again, LRCA in good field position.
Yeah. Also, not the best punt there. Don't know what's going on with the punts coming off the foot of Cannon. However, I think that we got a beginning of some good stops there in the last drive, and so we're just going to hope that our defense is able to put something together, get through the defensive line, and make some pressure happen.
Check out left end Jervalen Jr. That's the star for this El Dorado defense. And he generates some pressure here. It forces Kemp to roll out to the right side, and he checks it down, and it's a cutback for a huge gain. Kemp took a massive shot, though, and it will draw a penalty flag here.
Yeah, Carter. It looks like it's going to be a roughing of the passer, a late hit on quarterback Kemp Keller. But let's wait for the officials to call it out and see what we're facing here.
Dustin Grimmett, the head coach of LRCA, is livid on that sideline. He is madder than someone to go to the Spud Nut shop on Sunday. And oh man, I don't know. I hope they don't kick him out of the game for that. Let's see what they do. Okay, it's just roughing the passer. And it'll be enough for an LRCA first down. So they're on the door again here, Jack.
Yeah, they're creeping up the field. A 15-yard penalty or half the distance to the goal line penalty really doesn't help our situation there. And let's see, that's going to put them on about the 19-yard line, on their own 19-yard line in the red zone.
27 is a flat-out great running back. That's Jackson Ward once again in pistol, outside zone handoff to the right side. And what a good play by a young Wildcat. That's number 0, Connor Smith, making a really good job stretching that handoff.
Yeah, no, absolutely. They did a really good job of forcing him outside and cutting off his lane, leaving. And so that's going to bring us to 2nd down and 8 on the Warrior 17. 6 minutes and 56 seconds left in the first quarter.
Number 53 for their team is absolutely massive. That is Christian Lewis, the left guard. It looks like they're going to run behind him here. That is exactly what they do. And it's a good stop again for the Wildcats.
All right. And they finally blow the whistle. Let's wait and see where they place the ball. And it looks like we have a substitution coming, number 50 for number 52 coming in.
3rd and 2 here for LRCA. This will probably be 4-down territory. Oh, they bring in their Wildcat quarterback. It is a massive one. That is number 0, Connor Smith.
We've got some movement.
Was it Spencer Poole again, the young one, number 0 for El Dorado? Might have been some 0-on-0 action. Let's see if El Dorado gets the huge turnover here.
Recovered by the Warriors.
Oh, man.
All right. And it's going to be recovered by the Warriors. Let's see where they place the ball.
Yeah, 1st and goal here from the 2. Almost a huge play by Spencer Poole and the rest of the Wildcat defense. And they're going to get in the Wildcat again. It's Connor Smith, bare hand.
They've got the same type of movement that they had before the last play.
And it's brought down again. El Dorado showing some might here at the goal.
Man, Carter, that's one of the things that I was really impressed with is our defensive line's ability just to keep showing up each and every single play to show that they can hang with the big dogs. I mean, we've got a really big offensive line here with Little Rock Christian, and our defensive line is putting up a fight. They're saying, "Hey, you're not going to run all over us. You're going to have to open up the playbook in order to keep going on us." And so we'll see what's going to happen here, but our defensive line is putting up a fight and not just going to lay down to this big Little Rock Christian offense.
Kemp back in the pistol, and it's a fade route, back shoulder, and it will be a touchdown. Number 1, Gabe Schroeder on the tutty.
Yeah, Carter, that's not something that you want to see. However, it was a really good play called by Little Rock Christian. It was just a really quick pass back out to the wide out on his back shoulder. Not really much that you can do there except be better and hopefully be in the right spot.
El Dorado really needed that fumble recovery, couldn't get it, and the Warriors look to go up 14 here. We are barely midway through the first. Kicks up, and it is good. And And we'll be back right after this. It's El Dorado Wildcat Football on South Arkansas Now.
For over 6 decades, Glenn Mechanical has been specializing in HVAC, plumbing, and all mechanical jobs. 3 generations family-owned and operated since 1956. Glenn Mechanical's business is based on relationships. They support and give back to the communities they work in. Contact them for all of your HVAC, plumbing, and mechanical needs. GlennMechanical.com.
You're tough, determined to take challenges head on. But when cancer strikes, you'll need more than strength. You'll need the right care. We provide the tools you need to fight and the compassionate care you need to keep going every step of the way. Carti. We're with you.
Share kickoff goes through the back of the end zone, and El Dorado will take the field down 14. I would like to believe El Dorado wants to get their best running back, Jeremy J.J. Samuels, the football, runs a 4.59, the only returnee from the All-State team last year. I would put a lot on the line here that is going to number 6, and it does on a counter handoff to the right side. And it's a good run for 5 yards. We'll take that all day, every day.
All right, yes, number 6, our running back. And, man, he was hard to bring down there, Carter. He just kept powering through. It took 3 Little Rock Christian athletes to hop on him before they brought him down.
Don't be surprised if they target Jackson Pagan, the speedy sophomore. He is solo here to the right side. El Dorado hands it back off to JJ right up the gut, and this time he pushes forward for a first down. How about that? And we want to thank our friends at Glenn Mechanical. You saw their spot during the last break. Glenn Mechanical, hey, they take care of my parents' pool. They can take care of your pool and any mechanical needs, HVAC, anything under the sun. Check them out online, like them on Facebook. That's Glenn Mechanical, showing love today with South Arkansas Now. Jacobs back in shotgun, play action fake. Oh, he dodges a rusher and just throws this away. Jacobs rightly avoiding the big sack, and it sets up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, 2nd and 10. He faced pressure early on that play, had to bail out, and then realized as soon as thought he was out of trouble, he had trouble headed right his way. And so it was a smart decision there by Jacobs just to get rid of the ball, get it off to the sideline, make sure that there's not a sack or a turnover that comes out of that.
The sun is set, and we have Friday night lights here at LRCA. Wildcats looking to mount a 14-0 comeback here. Motion to Williams. The jet sweep handoff. The sophomore gets vertical, and they're 1 yard away from another Glenn Mechanical first down here.
Yeah, absolutely. That was going to be number 4, Christian Williams, was able to shed a tackle early, get some leverage upfield, and then carry a guy up until he got brought down.
And here is Jacobs, a competitor, the son of a legendary quarterback. Elliott, handoff up the middle, and it's another Glenn Mechanical first down for the Cats. JJ right up the gut.
Yeah, absolutely. That's going to put it first and 10 for the Wildcats on the 44-yard line. And Carter, like I told you right before the game started, Coach Hill is a smash-mouth football kind of guy. He says, hey, you're going to make us stop running before we stop running. You're going to have to stop it before we stop doing it.
Handoff again to JJ to the right side. He powers through for a 9-yard gain.
Yeah, absolutely, a 9-yard gain. That's gonna put us at 2nd and inches, Carter. 2nd and inches, and that's gonna put us. Oh, are they?
No,
gonna say 2nd down. That's gonna put us on the Warriors' 47-yard line. Wildcats making a start.
Oh, here's Jacobs, almost gets them to jump off sides here. Twins left, twins right, and shotgun formation. And Jacobs playing pitch and catch right here. And what I tell you, number 2, Jackson Pagan was going to make an impact on this drive. His first catch as a senior member of the Wildcats.
Yeah, they had Jackson out wide. DB dropped him to make sure nothing came out over the top, and our wide receiver turned out to the sideline, made a catch, and then was able to get another yard or two, Carter.
El Dorado in the hurry up here. And it's another jet sweep handoff to Williams. And he stretches this thing out wide, breaks one tackle, and falls forward for an extra yard or so.
All right, Carter, and that's going to put us at second and about 7. Second and about 7. We've got some substitutions happening here.
Yeah, JJ getting a breather here. Jacobs. This time it's
there we go.
A good run from Ja'Cory Lumsey. And it'll set up, it'll be another 2nd and 1 here. And what I liked last time on 2nd and 1, El Dorado threw the football. Normally, it's 3rd and 1 now. Okay. 3rd and 1 for the Wildcats. It's going to be interesting if they try to feed Lumsey here. I love the energy from the El Dorado offensive line. They're trying to pump the crowd up. And here we go. 1:29 left to go in the first quarter. Can El Dorado pick up this first? Pitch and catch to Williams. Oh, and he's brought down for a 5-yard loss. They tried a quick screen, and I believe El Dorado probably will go for this here, Jax.
Yeah, Carter, I don't see any reason not to go for it here. You're in enemy territory. You're down by 2 possessions. I don't see any reason not to go for it here. I mean, we've given the ball to them in better position their last 2 drives. So, man, let's go for it here. See if we can make something happen and get a conversion here.
Jackson Pagan is who you need to look out for. Once again, man-to-man with no safety help over the top here. El Dorado checking in another play. And it looks as if the Wildcats will take a timeout, and we'll take it with them. We'll be back for a critical 4th down right after this. It's Wildcat Football on South Arkansas Now.
So the equipment share is a great experience. We rent everything from dozers to skid loaders, mini excavators, even smaller hand tools. They've always got what we need. They're timely. The billing is quick and accurate. The guys are able to set it up. They do it through their phone. I love equipment share. Renting with equipment share is not like any other company out there. It's 1,000 times better.
For nearly 50 years, South Arkansas floors have been covered by El Dorado Custom Carpets. And not just carpets, but true hardwood, laminate, stone, porcelain, ceramic, marble, and more. And guess what? It doesn't end with just floors. El Dorado Custom Carpets carries a tremendous selection of backsplash, wall tile, and area rugs. The truth of the matter is, one commercial can't come close to telling you everything you can find at El Dorado Custom Carpets, 1601 East Main Street in El Dorado. Call 870-862-4945.
4th and around to Williams. Can he get to the edge? Makes one guy miss. Makes another, and he probably won't get there. Let's see. It depends on where they mark it, and he will be short. Oh, they tried the end around. The Wildcats, he'll take it right up the gut. And a good play. This will be the star of this defense. Jervalen Jr., a senior, a solid 6'1", 250. You need an equipment share truck to move him at defensive end. He makes a flat-out wonderful tackle here, and it sets up 2nd and 9.
Yeah, Carter, I mean, that's about all we can ask for from our defensive line is to get the stop right then and there at the line.
Pistol formation yet again. Kemp makes a check. And it looks as if that'll be it for the first quarter. We'll be back. El Dorado down 14-0. Don't turn that dial. The Wildcat comeback starts after this on South Arkansas Now.
At the Karl Malone family of dealerships, Ford El Dorado, Chevy El Dorado, Toyota El Dorado, and Karl Malone Toyota of Ruston, the mailman always delivers. With over 200 brand new vehicles and over 150 quality pre-owned options, you're sure to find the perfect ride. Looking to sell? We'll buy your vehicle, paid on the spot. 4 dealerships, one name you can trust, Karl Malone. Because when it comes to great deals, the mailman delivers.
Getting a buck to hang on the wall. It starts with preparation, takes some skill, and often even a little luck. Country Village Sporting Goods is your headquarters for all three. Right now, check out a brand new shipment of feeders, so new that they're still pulling them out of the boxes. A huge selection of lacrosse boots and plenty of warm weather camo for that early season hunt. And of course, bow hunters can't go wrong with the sales and service at Country Village Sporting Goods, 965 Smackover Highway in El Dorado.
And we are back. El Dorado Wildcat football. A lot of substitutions in on defense. For the first time, we see number 45, Winston Williams. Number 99 is also battled tonight. Gavin Briggs, he's only a sophomore at 6'1", 280. And time in a trips bunch to the short side. Be wary of something being run to the left. They've really not tried to throw the football yet in this game outside of a few touchdown throws. And normally out of timeouts, you need to be wary of shot plays. So let's see what El Dorado can do here. A fresh 12 minutes here, second quarter. El Dorado down by 2 scores, 14-0. Once again, the quarterback for LRCA, Kemp, set to be a Henderson State ready. And speaking of Henderson State, they have played quite a few games in Memorial Stadium in El Dorado. It's part of the Murphy USA Classic. How about that?
Yeah, Carter, one of my favorite things growing up was the Murphy USA Classic, and we've got play ready to start here.
Yep, gets the handoff. And yes, he takes the shot. What did I tell you? Right on the money, and it will be a touchdown. You could see it clear as day. Fritz bunch to the bottom to set up a man-to-man at the top, and it's pay dirt. 20-0.
Yeah, Carter. Tim Keller steps back in the pocket. He had a wide receiver open down the line pretty quickly. He was able to hit him right on the money and take it all the way to the house for a 71-yard touchdown pass.
Sometimes you tip your hat to the other coaching staff. They set up a good play. They had been running the football. Set up single high, hit the deep shot down the left sideline. And now we have the extra point here. Number 29, Cam Mitchell, lines up, and it is good. El Dorado down 21-0. Back in a moment. It's Wildcat football on South Arkansas Now.
Slow down. You can still find plenty of homegrown fruits and vegetables at Davis Farms Country Market. Plus, a new shipment of baked goods just hit the shelf. And if you've ever wanted to know the difference between the meat from the big chain stores and locally grown Davis Double D Farms beef, you have to check it out. You'll be amazed, and you may never buy grocery store beef again. All of this and more at Davis Farms Country Market, 4523 Junction City Highway, or call 870-639-1323.
Eric Henry.
Hey, Jake from State Farm. I saved so much bundling, it inspired my workout. Auto! Home!
Okay, and this is Auto again, right?
Auto!
Hey, this is my living room.
Home!
Bundling, just another way to save with the personal price plan.
The dog isn't allowed on the couch, Derek.
Another equipment share kickoff goes into the end zone, and El Dorado will hit the field down 21. At least on the last drive, Jax, they're able to get some momentum going.
Yeah, Carter, and sometimes that's all it takes is to get just a little bit of momentum going. Even though the drive didn't turn out how we wanted it to last time, we were able to do some really good things, show that we can be physical running the football. And so all we've got to do is go out there, keep being physical, keep our heads in the game, and see if we can make a comeback start to happen. I've seen better comeback happen.
And it's going to be JJ more than likely getting this handoff, but Jacobs gets it to JJ, and he stretches this out to the left side, and it'll be a loss yet again for the Cats.
Yeah, Carter, one thing that I noticed right there is that Little Rock Christian's defensive line was really explosive right there, was able to bang our offensive line back into the running back, push him back a little bit, slow him down, make him go a little wider, closed up a hole. And so, hats off to the Little Rock Christian defense there. I mean, our offensive line guys are pretty strong. I mean, we've got some pretty good guys, some pretty strong, heavy guys. Coach Hill talked earlier this week about how much some of these guys are benching, and I could never imagine.
Two receivers to the left and right. Jacobs, quick throw here to JJ, and he is brought down for another loss. El Dorado gasping for air, but the Wildcats fighting hard.
Yeah, so Carter, that's going to bring us to third and about 15 with the loss there on that play. We missed a block on a defensive back from our wide receiver and was able to create pressure. Didn't allow us to get any shiftiness. Didn't allow us to get into open field, and we were brought down quickly behind the line.
El Dorado has gone to 4. Williams nonstop in the spot. Jacobs has Pagan open. Good catch from Pagan, and he is brought down immediately. They were trying to get Williams deep. They couldn't quite get there, and it'll set up another punt here for El Dorado.
Yeah, absolutely, Carter. Right there, I noticed that the defense was in nothing behind you mode. They had their safety deep, and they were playing deep zone. They said, "Hey, we'll let anything happen up shallow, just no first downs."
We do have a punter switch here. It'll be Justin Hammett in. The last 2 punts went for a combined 40 yards. So let's see if Hammett can get some distance here. Good snap. And I do think it was slightly deflected. There was a lot of pressure, but we do get a slight El Dorado bounce. And it'll be the 3rd possession or the 4th possession here for LRCA, the 3rd that begins in El Dorado territory. Tough night tonight for the Cats. No matter what the result will be, El Dorado will definitely grow from this. Another play to look out for this year is a sophomore, number 3, Josiah Moore. He's lined up at corner at the bottom of your screen. LRCA gets extravagant here with this motion. And it's a handoff here to the left side for no gain. A great tackle there by number 5, Bratavian Brown.
Yeah, Carter, Bratavian is one of the ones that the coaches told us to keep an eye on defense. Said that he's really quick to crash in on the ball. He plays with high IQ, and he is going to hit you hard. I mean, watching some highlights from last year, Bratavian, he was able just to knock the cleats off of some guy. And so, that's not somebody who I want to take too many tackles from if I'm Little Rock Christian.
El Dorado Wildcats might get a momentum shift here. Let's see if there's a penalty here. Looks as if there is some dirty laundry on the field. And we will personal foul here. So that'll be 15 yards in the opposite direction. And now El Dorado has a chance to get a stop here. This would be their first stop of the game. And maybe, just maybe, this Wildcat defense could get a big play here. And let's see what LRCA elects to do. 2nd and 22. Once again, number 30, Javalen Jr. is who you need to know, Wildcat Nation. This is an amazing pass rusher. He's got a one-on-one here. Kemp, back to pass. Quick game to the right side, and it's a great throw and catch on the flood concept. That is number 5, Tristan Watson for LRCA.
Yeah, Carter, that's going to be another first down for Little Rock Christian. They were able to get it to what looks to be about the 33-yard line, and man, just some fast wide receivers over there.
Quick game, they feed him again. And it's another first down here. Chunk after chunk after chunk for the Warriors.
Yeah, Carter, that's going to be that wide receiver, number 5 for Little Rock Christian, Tristan Watson. As I was watching some film on him earlier this week, I knew that we were going to have to keep him covered and not let him get any open field.
Trips right again. And it's a goal ball down the sideline. And this time it's better coverage. Give number 21, Marsavius Ishmael, a lot of credit. He was beat earlier in this game for a touchdown, but he comes back there with a nasty rep. I love it.
Yeah, Carter, I mean, that's absolutely what Wildcat football is about. You know, we might let something happen. We might let something go, but hey, next play's happening.
Pistol right up the gut here. And it's a strong tackle by number 1, Lumsey.
Yeah, Carter, you know, Lumsey is definitely somebody that we have to keep our eye on. This is a powerful linebacker. Somebody can be coming downfield at him, and all he's going to do is lower the shoulders and lay him out. Yeah, he doesn't even need momentum on his side when somebody's coming his way.
3rd and medium, pistol formation again. Kemp makes a check at the line of scrimmage. And let's see what he elects to do here. It's that double motion again to the left side. And let's see what Kemp. Oh, and it's a bad snap. And there's a flag on the play. False start. And it'll knock LRCA back 5 yards.
So that's going to put them at 3rd and 12, Carter, on what's going to be their own. Let's see where they have the ball placed, or not on their own, but on the Wildcat.
Third and 13 here. Ball on the Wildcat 18-yard line. LRCA does have a good here. So I don't think that they would go for it unless they get really close. Pistol formation. Kemp with the ball. And it's number 30, Bailey Jr. What a play. And El Dorado gets their first explosive defensive stop of the evening. And it'll set up a really long field goal. And this is the weapon, Cam Mitchell. He was blasting them pregame from at least 45, 50 yards. He'll line up here for a 49-yarder. NFL kickers have trouble with these. Snaps good, holds good, and the kick is squirted off to the side, and the El Dorado Wildcats get their first stop of the evening.
Yeah, Carter, absolutely. I mean, just a great stop by the El Dorado defense. Way to take advantage of a penalty, and we'll be on offense now. Jacobs headed out to take the snap.
And this will also be the best field position for the Wildcats to start a drive. I cannot wait to see the Wildcats step up on this. I'm telling you right now, the offers are going to start pouring in for number 30, Jervalen Jr. Jimmy Johnson was my defensive line coach. He's still the El Dorado defensive line coach, and there's no telling how many college defensive linemen he's put through to a Ouachita, Harding, the Arkansas Razorbacks. Jervalen Jr. is the next in line. Jet sweep handoff to Williams again on the left side. He's got room. Oh, and he loses it and he picks it up. Do the Wildcats have it?
It looks like he fell on it, Carter, but I won't be able to tell you until a ref gives us some kind of indication.
Does he have it? El Dorado with their best field position on the evening, and it will be 2nd down. Good hustle by Williams there, Jax, to pick it up.
Yeah, you know, definitely not something we want to see. We don't want to see the football get loose, but great job jumping back on top of it, keeping possession with the Wildcats. And, I mean, Carter, he was shifty. He was able to get through. He shedded a couple tackles. We just lost the football. I think if we hold on to the football there, we even get another couple yards, probably a 1st down.
Christavian Meadows checks in at left guard. It is Jacobs here with the handoff to JJ. He gets vertical, and that should be enough for a Glenn Mechanical 1st down. Move the chains, Zebras.
Yeah, absolutely, Carter. That is enough for another Glenn Mechanical 1st down. You know, we did a little bit of a misdirection there. We acted like it was maybe going to be a quarterback draw. Jacobs did a really good job of feigning the run while we ran out to the left.
Grant Merrill, Sandy Sanford making us sound and look good this evening. Handoff again up the middle. It's JJ. He's got it. What got to be? Oh, and he gets tripped up. Oh. You could see the burst. JJ Meadows. There's not many running backs in 6A that you want more than J.J. Samuel. 4.59 40-yard dash speed. You saw him blast through there last year, all-state performer. And now El Dorado lines up trips right. Jacobs to the left. Quick out to Samuel. And it'll be a 1-yard gain here.
Yeah, Carter, you know, I like that play design. I think that we had a good idea there. Seeing what an RPO could do for us there. Cannon took off, realized that he wasn't going to have a run, tried to let go of it quick, and Little Rock Christian was able just to crash in on our wide receiver. Was that number 2, Jackson Pagan?
Yeah, Jackson having himself a good game. Already has 2 catches in this one. And here we go again. Motion with Williams. It's Jacobs up the gut. He bounces it to the left side. He picks up 5 yards here, and it'll set up 3rd and medium.
Yeah, that's going to set up 3rd down for us. 5:21 left in the second quarter. Warriors up 21-0 over the Wildcats. However, the Wildcat offense is getting some momentum here. We're across the midfield point, and it looks like we have a little bit of momentum going into this drive, Carter.
Let's see what Jacobs can do here. And it's a handoff up the gut. And it'll be enough for another Glenn Mechanical first down.
Move those chains, Carter. That's enough for another Glenn Mechanical first down.
That was number 1, Ja'Cory Lumsey.
Carter, you know, Coach Hill is from Harding. He spent some time coaching with Harding, and Harding is a great collegiate football program, not too far off of a national championship. And so they're going to replace Smash Mouth football, run it up the middle.
Jacobs takes the snap. It's a handoff again. Oh, my goodness. JJ barreling forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, JJ just powered through the defense there. He said not 1, not 2, but 3 defenders is what it's going to take him down this time. Powering through for a large gain, bringing us to 2nd and 1 on the Warrior 25.
Very critical here. Wildcats walk away with points. LRCA will receive the second half kickoff as we are down to 4:30 left to go in the second quarter, and we'll get a false start penalty.
Yeah, Carter, that's definitely not something you want to see. We have to have discipline at the line. We have to pay attention to the ball. Penalties in times like this is what kills the momentum. We can't allow ourselves to get sloppy. We can't allow ourselves to make mistakes. If we're going to come back in this game, we've got to start playing some perfect football, having high discipline, not false starting, not jumping off sides, doing everything right.
Look out for number 9, Bronson Brock, line up outright. It'll be Jacobs here. Play action. Finally gets it out into space on the split zone, and it's a good run from the stepson of the El Dorado defensive coordinator, Wes Abels. That is Paxton Strong, and we do have a flag on the field.
Yeah, Carter, Paxton is one of the players that they told us to be on a lookout for this season. And one thing I noticed about the guy is, man, he is big compared to some of our other guys. You know, he doesn't have just extreme height, but he just looks stocky. He looks thick. He looks like he's hard to bring down, Carter.
One thing that was brought up to me, I spoke to Jimmy Johnson earlier this week. El Dorado rotating in a lot of different offensive linemen. So this is good experience as Coach Hill looks to find the 5 that he wants to lead this Wildcat team for the rest of the year. Oh, you just hate to see that. Coach Chris Hill is livid, trying to get clarification for what exactly happened at the end of this play. Wildcat Nation over here is drawing ire of the referees. I would be as well. I didn't really see a whole lot there. But here we are. It'll set up 1st and roughly 10 here, 4:02 left. Once again, it's number 4, Christian Williams. They've been getting the football in. El Dorado. Jacobs will take yet another snap here. And they try to set up the middle screen.
Jacobs is on the move.
And he throws it away. Looks as if El Dorado was trying to set up that middle screen yet again. And it'll set up 2nd and 10 for the Cats.
You know, even though that winds up in an incompletion, Carter, I'm proud of our offensive line. They gave Jacobs the time that he needed behind the line. He was able to get a little bit of scrambling, and although it was a throwaway off to the sideline, man, these are the types of things that the Wildcat offense is looking for. We're looking to see what kind of coverages they're running, what can we exploit when we give them the same look next time.
South Arkansas now teamed up with Promed Ambulance. Thanks for their support. And we set up here 2 receivers to the left, 2 receivers to the right, 3:54 left in this half. We got a motion here, and it's Jacobs up the gut, and he is brought down after a gain of a couple.
Yeah, Carter, that's going to be just a gain of a couple. That's going to bring the Wildcats to 3rd down and about 6 or 7. With 3:30 left in the first half, Warriors up 21-0 over the Wildcats. That's going to put the ball on the Warriors' 27-yard line.
And here we go, Williams again in motion. It'll be another false start here by El Dorado. And the Wildcats, once again, rotating in a lot of different offensive linemen tonight. And with that comes false start penalties. So checking into the game for the first time, number 24, the junior Austin Fudge. And we'll see what El Dorado elects to do here. This LRCA defense has been stingy tonight.
Yeah, Carter, you're definitely right. This defense has been on top of things. They've covered our wide receivers really well. You know, our offensive line is doing a pretty decent job of getting Cannon some time. But when the receivers just aren't open, what are we going to do?
Jacobs back to pass. Can't make the blitz or miss, but he is able to throw it up in the air, and it'll be an interception. And it will be returned for a touchdown. Wildcats down 28-0 now, pending an extra point. And it is a light show here in the state capitol.
Yeah, Carter, you know, Jacobs was in trouble there. The defense was able to get to him very quickly, and he tried to elude him. He tried to spin, and he tried to get rid of the ball, but it just didn't have any power. It was lobbed up in the air, and it turned out to be an interception taken all the way back to the house for a pick six for Little Rock. They're lining up for the extra kick here now.
Carson Crum blitzed off the edge, and it was a pick six by number 1, Gabe Schroeder. The extra point is good, and we'll be back right after this. It's Wildcat Football on South Arkansas Now.
Whether it's protecting families from the predators in nature, to helping food taste better and last longer naturally, or just making sure the local ball field is at its best, Lanxess is involved in our everyday lives. With more than 450 employees locally and more than $32 million in payroll each year, Lanxess is doing their part to be a good neighbor and leader in South Arkansas. With that in mind, remember to call before you dig. Know what's below. In Arkansas, it's the law, and it's a free service. Call 811 before you dig. This brought to you by Lanxess.
Non-stop phone calls, registered mail, repossessions, or threats of lawsuits from creditors, and it seems like no one is willing to let you hit pause and just catch your breath. You need the help of Robert Rushing and the Rushing Law Firm. Bankruptcy is not the end. It could be a chance for a fresh start. The Rushing Law Firm goes to work for you, letting you hit that pause button and start over. Call the Rushing Law Firm today at 870-875-2940 or stop by the office at 725 Northwest Avenue in El Dorado. The Rushing Law Firm.
And we are back. Another equipment share kickoff. And it is out of bounds. El Dorado gets a huge break here. And it'll set up some excellent field position for the Wildcats. Ball should be placed on the 35. So the second best field position of the evening for El Dorado. And Jax, you know, we're all pulling for Cannon here. He's got to erase that mistake and just get back out there and just try and get this offense moving.
Yeah, you know, growing up, my dad always told me anytime I made a mistake, my memory had to be like my pinky finger and be short. And just man, we're on to the next play. Hey, we're on to the next pitch. We've still got ball to play. So we can't remember that interception. We've got to go out, be ready to throw the ball, be ready to make a play.
Let's see what Cannon Jacobs does here. He is a competitor, threw for 1,500 yards last year and 15 touchdowns. Handoff to JJ is up the gut, and he's actually run pretty well tonight. The All-Stater. I want to show some love to JJ's mom, Kia. Hopefully she's tuning in. She might be here. I don't know. I just saw that her name is Kia. Hey, Kia. Is Kia here?
You know, Carter, one thing that I know that our coaches are paying attention to is what group of the offensive line is allowing runs like that to happen.
And here we go. Jacobs is JJ yet again. And 6 this time is stuffed for only a gain of 1.
All right. And so that's going to bring us to 3rd and about 4 for the Wildcats on their own 41-yard line. And Carter, one of the things is you know, they can stop us with only a 1-yard run. But what are they going to do on the next drive when we run it, or on the next play when we run it again?
3rd and short. It is a jet sweep handoff to Williams. And he picks up the first down. It was tough sledding. And once again, shout out to our friends at Glenn Mechanical.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, one thing about Williams there, Carter, is he's fast and he's changing direction quickly. You know, even if it's only by about 10, 15 degrees, it's enough to make the defense miss. He's getting past the first guy that's trying to tackle him.
Ball on the left hash. Jacobs. Good pitch and catch right there. That's number 7, Justin Hammett, for his first grab of the game.
Yeah, and the great thing there was Justin didn't just catch the ball and go down. He turned and he fell forward, gaining an extra 1.5 yards, 2 yards off of that. So, and that's the kind of thing that coaches are looking for. They want to see you fight for that extra yard.
El Dorado, 90 seconds left to go in this half. It's Hammond again. He makes a guy miss. And will the Wildcats have enough for a first down? They will not. Cats only have 2 timeouts left, now down to 60 seconds left to go in the half. 28-0, Warriors winning, and they do get the ball first to start the second half. And it is a handoff up the gut, and it will be enough for a first down. That's number 1, Ja'Cory Lumsey. Wildcats do need to hurry. I wonder if they do get up to the line of scrimmage and spike it. They choose not to, so the clock will run. Tick, 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 44 seconds left to go. El Dorado needs to get going here. Play call. We don't know what the play call is here. Chris Hill checks it again. 33 seconds left. Twins left, twins right. Jacobs back to pass, and it will be a flag. And it should be a false start here. El Dorado. It depends on the ruling here. I think they'll have the choice of calling a timeout or a 10-second runoff here. And let's see. Let's see if they call the it depends what El Dorado wants to do here. 29 seconds left to go. Clock now is moving. So I guess there is no 10-second runoff in high school. Now 23 seconds left to go in this half. Jacobs back to pass. They need to get something deep. He does throw it deep. And it's Hammett with a nice catch on the out.
Yeah, Carter, absolutely. Hammett has had a hand so far this game. Has he even dropped one that's touched his body yet this game?
He's not. He dragged both feet inbounds. Let's see if it's enough for a first. No, it'll set up 2nd and short. 12 seconds left. El Dorado still has 2 timeouts to use here. He did get out of bounds, so no clock will move here. And LRCA will take a timeout. We'll take it with them. Back for the final 12 after this on South Arkansas Now.
Of the El Dorado community, LSB Industries is a leading manufacturer of nitrogen-based products for the industrial and agricultural markets. Working together as one team, our employees are dedicated to creating products that improve the quality of life for current and future generations.
At Karl Malone Power Sports El Dorado, we've got the biggest selection of ATVs, UTVs, and motorcycles ready to ride today. Take advantage of special financing, unbeatable trade-in values, and service you can trust to keep you on the trails. Whether it's work, play, or pure adrenaline, we've got the machine to fit your lifestyle. Karl Malone Power Sports El Dorado, where selection, savings, and service all deliver. Come see us today.
Wow. We are back for the final 12 seconds. El Dorado down 28. They still have one timeout at their disposal. No, they have two. It was LRCA that called the timeout. Jacobs play action fake. Throws it up, and it'll be intercepted yet again. LRCA down the left sideline. 30. Jacobs with the big tackle. Oh, my goodness. What a play by number 8, Cannon Jacobs. Of course, you didn't want the interception, but that tackle saves 7 points and a 35-0 score going into half. So we'll only be down 4 scores when we get back. Jacobs looked as if he did have Hammett down the left sideline, didn't get enough on it, and now we're on to half here with the Wildcats down by 4 scores.
Yeah, Carter, you know, one of the things happening right there was Jacobs was hawking down that DB that made the interception. I mean, I think Jacobs took that one personally, Carter. He was not going to let that one turn into a pick six, even if he had to make the tackle himself. He made a good read defensively, getting through the blocks that Little Rock Christian's defense was throwing for their man, and was able to make the stop, losing his helmet. I mean, he had it all in on making sure that did not turn into another pick six.
Malachi, number 6. This LRCA team, they're showing you why they are indeed a roster. So Wildcat fans, there's no way to sugarcoat this any other way. El Dorado just did not play offense or on special teams. But if there was one bright spot outside of the 70-yard touchdown reception, the El Dorado defense showed some fight in that first half.
Yeah, Carter, you know, the defense did show some fight. I know that the score 28-0 doesn't really show it. However, you know, 7 of those points came off of an interception. And then, Carter, they were just able to throw up 21 on the score pretty quickly. They had the open pass for the touchdown where Keller rolled out to the sideline and was able to make a completion on the run for a touchdown. And then, how did the second touchdown come again?
The second touchdown was a little back shoulder fade.
That's right. Back shoulder fade. And then for the third touchdown, I mean, they had the 71-yard touchdown pass taken to the house. I mean, so you know, even though it's 28-0 Warriors, you know, we're still looking to fight here. And so we'll come back right after this. At South Arkansas now, score 28, Warriors, Wildcats 0 going into the half.
You're tough, determined to take challenges head on. But when cancer strikes, you'll need more than strength. You'll need the right care. We provide the tools you need to fight, and the compassionate care you need to keep going. Every step of the way. Carti. We're with you.
Bad things happen, and of course, they never happen at the right time. Maybe it's just a little bump and cosmetic damage, or it's turned into a huge insurance claim and you just don't know where to go next. That's why so many of your neighbors and friends call on Cook's Body Shop in El Dorado. From the minor to the major, Cook's Body Shop is in your corner. Need someone to help you deal with insurance? Look to Cook's. Need advice on what to do next? Look to Cook's. Need a free estimate? Look to Cook's. Bad things are going to happen, and when they do, look to Cook's.
For nearly 50 years, South Arkansas floors have been covered by El Dorado Custom Carpets. And not just carpets, but true hardwood, laminate, stone, porcelain, ceramic, marble, and more. And guess what? It doesn't end with just floors. El Dorado Custom Carpets carries a tremendous selection of backsplash, wall tile, and area rugs. The truth of the matter is, one commercial can't come close to telling you everything you can find at El Dorado Custom Carpets, 1601 East Main Street in El Dorado. Call 870-862-4945.
Need equipment for your next job? Don't settle for the traditional rental experience.
The rental experience with Equipment Share is a great experience. We rent everything from dozers to skid loaders, mini excavators, even smaller hand tools. They've always got what we need. They're timely. The billing is quick and accurate. The guys are able to set it up. They do it through their phone. I love Equipment Share. Renting with Equipment Share is not like any other company out there. It's 1,000 times better.
All right, we're back. And back from that break, Carter, 21-0 Little Rock Christian over the Wildcats. What are you wanting to see here from our guys coming back from the half?
Yeah, when you're down 28-0, the one thing you're just looking for are just sustained drives. You're able to get a few Glenn Mechanical first downs there, but no explosive plays for this El Dorado passing attack. It looks as if LRCA is just comfortable with letting El Dorado play pitch and catch, and that is something that they will happily do up 28-0. The good news for El Dorado is while LRCA is playing a wonderful game, the Wildcats can't play any worse than they did in the first half. So there's only good news on the horizon for El Dorado.
Yeah, Carter, one of the things that I really wanted to see more of was number one, Ja'Cory Lumsey coming through on the defensive line. We didn't really see him get very much penetration. He did a big play for us there in the first half where he was able to get behind the line of scrimmage, make a stop. But other than that, Little Rock Christian's been able to keep him out of the game pretty much for the most part. And one of the things is when you've got a high IQ player with the athletic ability that Lumsey has, I mean, that's going to be one of the keys to keeping your offense going strong is taking out one of the best defensive players, keeping him out of the game, keeping him from being the one to make the stops.
Yeah, the star of the first half for me, I know I keep talking about him, but he's actually done his job, and that's number 30, Jervalen Jr. He had the big sack to really get El Dorado some momentum and a punt out there, or what should have been a punt. It ended up converting out to a nice game, but still, Jervalen Jr., he is an absolute force wearing that number 30 uniform. I want to dedicate this first ever stream to my father-in-law who passed away earlier this year. That is none other than Mr. Steve Holdridge, wore number 50 for the El Dorado Wildcats. He used to do play-by-play all the way back then with Pastor David Voss. So really excited to be here for my father-in-law, who this was one of his favorite hobbies. And Steve was a man of God. I was very lucky to have him and still have him in my heart and in my life. So if you are currently going through something, if you have currently lost a loved one and you're watching us right now on the stream, I'm looking at you right now, just know we are here Friday night. I don't care if El Dorado wins. I don't care if El Dorado loses. We're going to cheer for that good old purple and white Power Cat till the last whistle. So even though things aren't going good now, it'll get better. And they'll only get better because this is probably the best team El Dorado will play on the schedule all season long.
Yeah, Carter, that's one of the main things that we have to remember is Little Rock Christian is a 7A team, not a 6A team. So, we're not going to be facing this kind of competition every single week. This is definitely one of the probably the hardest game that the Wildcats are going to play this season. And the other thing is it's just the first half of the season, Carter. We are only 24 minutes into the game, into the season, and so I'm excited to see what we do coming out of the half. I'm excited to see what kind of adjustments we make, and just watch the Wildcats play football. This isn't a team that's going to lay over and die. So when we go into the second half, man, be ready to see the Wildcats try and be explosive, try and make a statement, and say, hey, we're still in this game. We're from El Dorado.
Let's go, Cats. Let's go, Cats. Let's go, chat. I don't care where you're watching from.
All right, and we're going to be back right after a quick word from our sponsors at SouthArkansasNow.com.
Hitting a buck to hang on the wall rarely happens by accident. It starts with preparation, takes some skill, and often even a little luck. Country Village Sporting Goods is your headquarters for all three. Right now, check out a brand new shipment of feeders, so new that they're still pulling them out of the boxes. A huge selection of lacrosse boots and plenty of warm weather camo for that early season hunt. And of course, bow hunters can't go wrong with the sales and service at Country Village Sporting Goods, 965 Smackover Highway in El Dorado.
As the summer growing season begins to slow down, you can still find plenty of homegrown fruits and vegetables at Davis Farms Country Market. Plus, a new shipment of baked goods just hit the shelf. And if you've ever wanted to know the difference between the meat from the big chain stores and locally grown Davis Double D Farms beef, you have to check it out. You'll be amazed, and you may never buy grocery store beef again. All of this and more at Davis Farms Country Market, 4523 Junction City Highway, or call 870-639-1323.
With a name you trust, you can count on us. Glen Mechanical, plumbing, heating, and air.
For over 6 decades, Glen Mechanical has been specializing in HVAC, plumbing, and all mechanical jobs. 3 generations family owned and operated since 1956. Glen Mechanical's business is based on relationships. They support and give back to the communities they work in. Contact them for all of your HVAC, plumbing, and mechanical needs. GlenMechanical.com.
Buying this boat was a total no-brainer.
Okay, I get it. You say no-brainer and the guy with no brain shows up.
I'm sorry, we met our new boat.
For a new boat? You don't call me. You call State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is...
There?
I was gonna say that.
He's right. Your State Farm agent can help you choose the right coverage for your new boat and your RV. It's kind of a no-brainer. Easy decision.
All right.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Whether it's protecting families from the predators in nature, to helping food taste better and last longer naturally, or just making sure the local ball field is at its best, Lanxess is involved in our everyday lives. With more than 450 employees locally and more than $32 million in payroll each year, Lanxess is doing their part to be a good neighbor and leader in South Arkansas. With that in mind, remember to call before you dig. Know what's below. In Arkansas, it's the law, and it's a free service. Call 811 before you dig. This brought to you by Lanxess.
LSB Industries is committed to playing a leadership role in the production of low and no carbon products that build, feed, and power the world. Our El Dorado carbon capture and sequestration project is helping the company reduce its carbon footprint while enabling us to provide our customers with low carbon products.
All right, and welcome back to Little Rock Christian Academy against the Warriors here in Little Rock, Arkansas. Wildcats are facing off against the Little Rock Christian Warriors, down 28-0 at half. And I want to say that tonight's halftime coverage is brought to you in part by El Dorado Custom Carpets. Whether it's one room or the whole house, El Dorado Custom Carpets has been covering the floors of homes in South Arkansas for nearly 50 years. So if you need to look at different flooring options, give our guys at El Dorado Custom Carpets a call. And tonight's coverage is also brought to you in part by Tom Cotton and U.S. Senator Tom Cotton. Want to know more about the U.S. Senator? Go to tomcotton.com. And Wildcat fans, as we're sitting here in the halftime, I'm sitting here by myself. Carter is being our hydration specialist for the night, making sure everybody's nice and taken care of. We've got some really good people on camera tonight. And guys, although the score is showing 28-0 for the Wildcats, I still don't want to count us out of it. I still don't want to say that we won't have anything going for us coming out of the half. Again, Coach Hill comes from a program like Harding that just won a national championship not too long ago. And Coach Hill and I had the opportunity to meet a couple times. Coach Hill was at Harding at the same time that I was working with the Ouachita Baptist football and cheerleading teams. And so I've shared a field a couple times with Coach Hill, and I've got to say I really, really love his philosophy on the football. You know, even though the Little Rock Christian team is a little bit bigger than us and has been able to stop the run a few times, you know, that's not going to keep Coach Hill from running the ball. He's a smash-mouth football kind of guy. He's going to run it down your teeth and make you stop it every time. You might stop it this time and you might stop it next, but you have to keep stopping the run when you're playing against Coach Hill's Wildcats. And you know, another really big thing that I'm looking forward to is the adjustments that we're going to make when it comes to what our wide receivers are doing. Little Rock Christian's done a really good job of covering the Wildcats wide receivers, keeping them from getting too open. However, we have had a really good couple of passing plays completed by quarterback Cannon Jacobs and to our other receivers doing a good job. And so we're going to take one more break and come back after this. from a word from our sponsors here at SouthArkansasNow.com.
More product than ever in the store history. That's what's happening at Union Kennel and Farm Supply. A huge sale is going on right now, including 50-pound bags of deer corn, only $6.50 per bag. 50-pound bags of rice bran, marked $1 off. No one, absolutely no one, has a better selection of small animals, birds, reptiles, saltwater and freshwater fish than Union Kennel and Farm Supply. 1100 West Hillsboro and El Dorado. Or call 870-864-9229.
Non-stop phone calls, registered mail, repossessions, or threats of lawsuits from creditors, and it seems like no one is willing to let you hit pause and just catch your breath. You need the help of Robert Rushing and the Rushing Law Firm. Bankruptcy is not the end. It can be a chance for a fresh start. The Rushing Law Firm goes to work for you, letting you hit that pause button and start over. Call the Rushing Law Firm today at 870-875-2940 or stop by the office at 725 Northwest Avenue in El Dorado. The Rushing Law Firm.
Need equipment for your next job? Don't settle for the traditional rental experience.
The rental experience with Equipment Share is a great experience. We rent everything from dozers to skid loaders, mini excavators, even smaller hand tools. They've always got what we need. They're timely. The billing is quick and accurate. The guys are able to set it up. They do it through their phone. I love Equipment Share. Renting with Equipment Share is not like any other company out there. It's 1,000 times better.
Bad things happen, and of course, they never happen at the right time. Maybe it's just a little bump and cosmetic damage, or it's turned into a huge insurance claim and you just don't know where to go next. That's why so many of your neighbors and friends call on Cook's Body Shop in El Dorado. From the minor to the major, Cook's Body Shop is in your corner. Need someone to help you deal with insurance? Look to Cook's. Need advice on what to do next? Look to Cook's. Need a free estimate? Look to Cook's. Bad things are going to happen, and when they do, look to Cook's.
All right, and welcome back to Little Rock Christian Academy, where coverage is brought to you in part tonight by Especially For You. Anybody can buy a gift card, but if you really want your gift to stand out, then see our friends at Especially For You. For more than 30 years, Especially For You has been creating unique and personalized gifts. Check them out online at efygifts.com.
Wait, can I say something about Especially For You real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, my goodness gracious. I'm so happy that they're a part of South Arkansas now. They're my longtime family friends. And actually, did you know the daughter, the queen of Especially For You, now this is a big debate, is Kim. So if the lovely people at Especially For You are listening today, Kim Murphy, my classmate at the time, she's the GOAT. She is the Queen Murphy. It's not Ben. It's not Amanda. It's not Matt. It's my longtime friend Kim, who was on one time CBS Nightly News. Did you know that?
I did not know that, Carter.
CBS Nightly News. So shout out to Kim. She's part of the best graduating class ever in El Dorado history. Despite what my wife says, despite what my group chat says, it's the class of 07.
You know, Carter, I'll give you this, that the class of 07 was pretty great. However, good things come decades later, and the class of 2017 was strong.
What's the best El Dorado graduating class of all time? No, not 05. It's not 05. What's the best El Dorado graduate? 20.
All right. And you know, one of the big things that we're looking at coming back from the half, Carter, is going to be El Dorado's offense, just ability just to move the ball and stay consistent, stay disciplined. What words of advice would you have to our offensive line guys who just keep coming in and out of the game, subbing, trying to find who's the best combo? What words of advice would you give our offensive line, Carter?
The most important thing is just staying on the same page. So many false start penalties for El Dorado. It is harder to survive at the offensive line position on the road more than any other position in any sport. So, yes, I know it's frustrating. You get some momentum. You get a few first downs. But false start penalties kill your drive. So you've got to make sure you don't have them, even though it's very difficult to do so in this hostile environment.
Right, exactly. That Little Rock Christian crowd is loud, so I'm sure that our offensive line is having a hard time hearing Cannon get the call out on when to move, when to snap the ball. And Carter, we've got about a minute, 55 seconds until we come back to play. What quick words do you have before we go to a really quick break before we come back to action?
The only words I have are for our viewers. Like, share, subscribe. We'll be back right after this. It's South Arkansas Now.
You're tough, determined to take challenges head on. But when cancer strikes, you'll need more than strength. You'll need the right care. We provide the tools you need to fight and the compassionate care you need to keep going. Every step of the way. Carti. We're with you.
Fitting a buck to hang on the wall rarely happens by accident. It starts with preparation, takes some skill, and often even a little luck. Country Village Sporting Goods is your headquarters for all three. Right now, check out a brand new shipment of feeders, so new that they're still pulling them out of the boxes. A huge selection of lacrosse boots and plenty of warm weather camo for that early season hunt. And of course, bow hunters can't go wrong with the sales and service at Country Village Sporting Goods, 965 Smackover Highway in El Dorado.
All right, and as we come back from halftime, brought to you by El Dorado Custom Carpets, whether it's one room, the whole house, El Dorado Custom Carpets has been covering floors and homes in South Arkansas for nearly 50 years. You've got a home floor project that you want to look at, give our guys at El Dorado Custom Carpets a call. Carter, as we're coming back to action, you know, we're getting our guys warmed back up on the field. Little Rock Christian's making their way back on the field. And I see that we still have from our guys coming in, getting warmed back up out on the field. You know, our Wildcat team isn't ready to roll over and just say this game's over. I think they're coming back out with a vengeance.
And here's one thing that will be a benefit. If you get a good kickoff here, this would be the worst starting field position for LRCA the whole game. So the Warriors will be backed up. And something that's very interesting, I want to shout out all the El Dorado fans that traveled here. It is a massive, and I mean massive crowd of Wildcats for a road non-conference game. That's why El Dorado fans are the best in the state because, as you know, Jax, we have got some trips to go on this year, and El Dorado travels as well as any fan base you'll ever see at the high school level.
Yeah, you know, Carter, that's something that I've always been impressed with about El Dorado. I mean, from my time as a freshman in high school, going to games all the way through now, El Dorado's always traveled so well. The El Dorado football crowd is always prepared to show up, support their guys. It doesn't matter if we're in Camden, Little Rock, West Memphis. It does not matter. The El Dorado fans just travel so well. They make noise. They let our guys know that they're supported. And coming back into this half, you know, we're gonna do a lot of cheering. We're gonna cheer on our guys. We're gonna stay loud and hopefully make something happen. You know, I'm not saying that we'll come back and win this game because a lot has to happen for that to occur.
Well, you know what's interesting is a few high school teams actually went over to England. That's where El Dorado should go next year. Tea and crumpets in football. I want to see it happen. I think El Dorado fans would travel all the way to London. We go to Buckingham Palace, get a Go Wildcat chat going. El Dorado Wildcat. I don't have a good British accent.
Yeah. Hey, Carter, do me one favor and never do the British accent again. Okay?
It's where my wife and I got engaged. England is the absolute best. El Dorado in the United Kingdom is an absolute destination, baby.
You know what, Carter? If the AAA can bring us over to London to play a game, I will gladly travel and bring our Wildcat fans the play-by-play and color commentary that they deserve.
I'm in. Sandy, mark me down, baby. First class. Let's go. I don't know. I don't think London can compare to this Little Rock atmosphere tonight. I'm telling you, it is loud. They got Sandstorm playing in the background. And one other thing. So, like El Dorado, LRCA does themes at every home game. And tonight is actually Jersey night. So my question for you, Jax, what is the most obscure sports jersey you own?
The most obscure sports jersey that I own?
Yes.
All right. Well,
I know Sandy's got like 50 stored away in the closet that are like deep cut Astros.
All right, so I won't admit to any crimes here. However, I will say that I do have a pretty nice jersey from a certain state up a certain school upstate, and I'll just say that they're purple and white, and they win conference championships. Carter, that's all. But that's all I'll leave it at. But however, I do have a jersey from a number 4, Allie Freeman, and although not a whole lot of people here are going to know who Allie Freeman is, he was a receiver for the Wildcats. Great guy.
Allie Freeman, I like that. So in the chat right now, or just send us a message. What is the most obscure jersey? You know what's funny? I actually saw a Chicago Bulls Daniel Gafford, and it was an LRCA fan. So I wanted to go tell him. It was a kid. I was like, hey, you have great taste. I don't know if he meant to do that for the Eldorado thing. So whoever that fan is, if for some reason you're watching this, come see me. I'll give you. I think I have a Daniel Gafford card in my wallet. So we are set up here for this equipment share kickoff. It'll be the first kickoff of the year for number 40, Eric Flores, the sophomore, 5'9", 156.
Yeah, you know what, Carter? I don't hate the idea of bringing in a different kicker to start off the second half. Let's see what his leg can work with. Although he's not a very big guy, kickers don't have to be very big, Carter. I've seen some of the best kickers in my life be 5'6", and 120 pounds soaking wet with bricks in their pockets.
Let's see how this actually works out here. Oh, my goodness. We got a few underrated legends going to the broadcast booth. Hey, look at this. My goodness. And we are set for the kickoff here. Flores.
Move, please.
It's a pooch kick, and straight out of bounds goes the Warriors. Oh, my goodness gracious. What a night. And we do have some extracurriculars here. Hopefully it's not a flag on the Cats.
All right, Carter. Let's see what the refs decide to call here. I haven't seen any hand signals yet to let us know what's happening. Did they pick up the flag?
It'll probably be offsetting penalties. And this is something you have to worry about if you're El Dorado. If there is a blowout happening, sometimes you can lose your cool. The night didn't go how you wanted it to go. And, well, things can go awry, to say the very least. El Dorado Wildcats, 28-0. Once again, we want to shout out all our partners, Carl, Malone, especially for you, Promed Ambulance, Equipment Share. We appreciate you trusting us, South Arkansas Now, with your broadcast this evening. And all we want to do all season long is give you the best possible broadcast of the best team I have ever played for, which is the El Dorado Wildcats.
Yeah, absolutely, Carter. And I figured out that the flag came from the kick going out of bounds, and so that's going to affect the positioning of the ball on the field. It looks like they're going to set it down right at the 39-yard line. Kemp Keller is going to walk up and take the snap behind the center in shotgun formation.
Yet again, it's number 27, Jackson Ward. A little inside zone handoff, a little shake and bake. Ward has a hole, and he is eventually brought down. That was a really, really, really good tackle by number 15, Jalen Dunn.
Yeah, Carter, and you want to know the good thing is Jalen Dunn is only a sophomore, and we can tell his hustle already out on the field. I've seen him making hustle plays. He might not be the one making the play, but he's out there hustling, and that's the exact type of thing that you want to see from a sophomore, coming out, making plays, giving it their all, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he's going to do over the course of this year.
El Dorado still in that too high shell. I expect Kemp to keep the run game going. Trips bunch to the bottom of your screen. And it is an inside handoff to the left side. Wow, really good play right there by number 0, Spencer Poole.
Yeah, absolutely. Carter, senior Spencer Poole, he gets reps both at running back and linebacker, and I think that's one of the big things that contributed there to his patience. He waited for the gap to open up and then met the running back there, ready to stop him.
Once again, they want to run behind big number 53, Christian Lewis. Kemp, good completion for LRCA, but a huge hit for the Wildcats, but it will be enough for a first down.
And Carter, that's just good play by Little Rock Christian. I mean, they had a receiver that was able to get open. Kemp stayed patient, stayed in the pocket, had awareness, stepped up and made the throw. I mean, you can't be mad at the guys when they've got guys getting open, got guys faster.
And Kemp is just an elite quarterback. I mean, this will be the best quarterback El Dorado plays all year. He steps up into the pocket, and he throws it away. Dangerous throw, and they're going to call a late hit here on El Dorado.
You know, Carter, that really stings to see that stop coming back if it's late hit on the defense there. But I really liked what the defensive line did there. They got in quick. They created pressure on Kemp. They had him on the run. They actually even bumped into him, knocking the ball loose out of his hand for just a second before he recovered it and let go of the ball. Is it second down and 10 on the Wildcat 32 with 10 minutes and 30 seconds left in the third quarter?
And they will
will move it. Okay.
They will mark off the penalty here. 15-yard penalty. And the refs won't ever admit this, but if it's a star quarterback, they're always going to protect them on their home field. And Kemp might be the best QB in the state this year. Greenwood might have a thing or two to say about that, but Kentwood is fantastic. It's a nice little zone handoff to the left side. Once again, I say Kentwood, I meant Greenwood. The Archer kid is absolutely fantastic in his own right, but Kemp Keller, the Henderson State commit, 2,500 passing yards, 27 touchdowns, not really a threat with his legs. And it's another zone handoff to the left side. Cut back to the right. El Dorado trying to bring him down, and they finally do at their own 5-yard line.
Yeah, Carter, what happened there is the running back stayed patient. He made our Wildcat defense think he was going to crash hard up the middle. He slammed on the brakes, got shifty, shifted out right, back towards the Little Rock Christian sideline, and was able to pick up enough yards for a Little Rock Christian first down.
One of the captains for tonight, Caden Creer, checks in, and I would expect this to be a handoff. They did throw a goal line fade to the right side to this end zone for the second touchdown of this game. Pistol formation, motion to the right side. And it is indeed a handoff, and it'll be another score. And the light show on your screen isn't one that we want as a Wildcat broadcast, but that's just how this evening's gone. It is now 34-0.
Yeah, Carter, that's gonna bring it up to 34-0, 35-0, pending the extra point. And that's going to put the time at 9:39 left in the third quarter, putting the Warriors up 34, maybe 35-0 over the Wildcats. And we'll wait for them to take the snap here and see what happens with this extra point. The kick is up, and it is good. So we'll be right back after this quick word from our sponsors at SouthArkansasNow.com.
The right time. Maybe it's just a little bump and cosmetic damage, or it's turned into a huge insurance claim and you just don't know where to go next. That's why so many of your neighbors and friends call on Cook's Body Shop in El Dorado. From the minor to the major, Cook's Body Shop is in your corner. Need someone to help you deal with insurance? Look to Cook's. Need advice on what to do next? Look to Cook's. Need a free estimate? Look to Cook's. Bad things are going to happen, and when they do, look to Cook's.
As the summer growing season begins to slow down, you can still find plenty of homegrown fruits and vegetables at Davis Farms Country Market. Plus, a new shipment of baked goods just hit the shelf. And if you've ever wanted to know the difference between the meat from the big chain stores and locally grown Davis Double D Farms beef, you have to check it out. You'll be amazed, and you may never buy grocery store beef again. All of this and more at Davis Farms Country Market, 4523 Junction City Highway, or call 870-639-1323.
All right, and welcome back to Little Rock Christian Academy, where we're getting another equipment share kickoff, where it is going to come back for a touchback. for the Wildcats. That it was an equipment share kickoff brought to you by Equipment Share. Everything from pipe fitters to excavators. Kick your project off right with Equipment Share.
And we want to shout out Tyrone, Cameron, Yogi, Colton.
Oh, hey, Carter, it looks like we have a Little Rock Christian injury timeout. They've got a guy laid out about at the midfield mark.
Yeah, we'll keep it here. It looks like it will just be simple cramps. Normally when it is moist and humid like this, you'll get some crampage. And hopefully for Little Rock Christian Academy, that young man is okay. Yeah, that's just cramps right there. I'm not a doctor, but I know a few. It'll set up 1st and 10 for the Wildcats.
You know, Carter, spending some time working with the Washita football team as a student athletic trainer during my time there, during summer camp, you see a lot of cramps, and it can take a guy down bad. I mean, with a cramp, you can go down screaming with the intensity of the pain. So glad to see that Little Rock Christian player hop right up and get off the field with some assistance.
Jay, if he can fake, and they get it to Paxton here into the flats, a wonderful catch by Paxton Strong.
And that's going to be enough for another Glenn Mechanical first down for our El Dorado Wildcats. And you're right, Carter. He was able to pull off the play action, fool the defense a little bit, give Paxton just a little bit more time to get to the outside, get a lane, and get a good chunk of yardage there.
35-0 your score, 9-10 left to go. Is Washington on the jet sweep handoff. He makes the guy miss. He cuts it up and takes a huge shot. Lots of helmet-to-helmet contact right there. But what a run by Washington. I know he's a wide receiver, but he's taken about 6 or 7 of those handoffs tonight for some good gains.
Yeah, Carter, and one thing that you'll notice there at the bottom of your screen when it was happening was Justin Hammett, the wide receiver. He was making blocks, and that's one of the things that Coach Hill and I talked about was wide receivers in order to play are gonna have to make blocks.
Inside handoff to JJ. Oh, he makes the guy miss, and he falls forward for yet another Glenn Mechanical first down.
Yeah, absolutely, Carter. And that's another first down where it looks like the Wildcat offense is getting a little bit of momentum. We made some adjustments going in at the half, and we're gonna see what they're able to do.
El Dorado in the hurry up here. JJ again up the middle, and it'll go for just a few yards here.
Yeah, Carter, a couple of yards there, and that's the thing about Smash Mouth football is we're going to keep getting a couple yards. We're going to keep getting a couple yards. All of a sudden, we're going to get a big gain, and then we're going to get some small yards, big gain. And then we're just going to keep doing that. They're going to have to stop us with this Smash Mouth football.
Jacob signaling in the play from Coach Hill. El Dorado, 2 receivers to the left, 2 receivers to the right. It is JJ again up the middle, breaks another tackle and falls forward. I know it's been blowout city, but number 6, you better enjoy him while he's here, ladies and gentlemen, because running backs don't come around like him anymore. Jeremy Samuel, the senior.
Yeah, absolutely, Carter. I mean, Jeremy going into his senior year is looking to make improvement. In fact, coming in from last year, there wasn't a whole lot of improvement to make.
Oh, it's a zone read pull, and Jacobs should fall forward enough for a Glenn Mechanical first down.
All right, let's see if they signal to move those chains. And they've signaled that's going to be another first down for the Wildcats. That's going to put the Wildcats on approximately the Warriors' 28 or 27-yard line. 6:40 left in the third quarter. Warriors up 35-0. Jacobs is getting a word out to his wide receivers.
And here we go. Play action shot. They're going to try and hit Hammond deep. He tries not to. Jacobs rolling out to the right side. And he does pick up a few yards here. Did he have him there, Jack?
I'm not sure if he would have had a good throw there. However, Carter, what I do want to point out is I like the fact that on that play we kept the running back there as extra pass protection. Little Rock Christian's been able to put a little bit of pressure on Cannon, and so when we're not using our running back to run the ball, we're using him in pass protection. And that's something that I like.
Cannon Throws it up to Hammett. Back shoulder throw is incomplete.
Yeah, just an overthrow there from Jacobs. But Carter, like I just said, with keeping the running back in pass protection, we actually just stopped an outside linebacker's blitz coming off of the left side with our running back. Was able to muscle him up, give Cannon just a little bit more time. Those are just throws that we have to make.
3rd and 8. El Dorado does have 2 downs to pick it up. 5:28 left to go. El Dorado down 35-0. Jacobs signals in a shift here to the left side. Jacobs takes the snap. It is a handoff to the left. And the Wildcats bounce a few tackles.
Oh, there we go.
Can he turn the corner? No, he can't. That is number 1, Ja'Cory Lumsey. And all season long, expect a 1-2 duo of Lumsey and Samuel.
Yeah, Carter, that was another really big thing that Coach Hill focused on is just the ability to be able to swap out running backs, have a fresh set of legs back there every couple of downs. It's really huge. It's really important for big explosive plays like that.
4:44, Wildcats down 35. Jacobs on the zone read pull, falls forward for a nice gain here on first.
Yeah, it was a really good run, and that's one of the things that we can look forward to for the rest of the season is Cannon has a really good set of legs and a really good vision for running the ball. So if the linebackers crash out into coverage, expect Cannon to take off and make the defense pay for not keeping somebody spying on him, keeping him honest, and trying to throw the ball.
Handoff up the middle here. Oh, and it's almost brought in. Number 5, Bratavian Brown almost finds a way. And JJ checks back in here. I expect him to get the ball next.
Yeah, Carter, one thing about Brown there is that kid is an athlete. I'll tell you how I know this is Man, as his friends and family commonly know him, actually played for my dad in Boys and Girls Club baseball, and that kid is an athlete.
JJ.
There we go.
And the El Dorado Wildcats are on the board. Field for the score.
Yeah, absolutely. Really, really, really good run there. Great push by the offensive line. They knew that we were close, and they said, we're going to get this ball in. They aren't going to shut us out. Really proud of our guys for fighting through it, making a stand, and saying we're getting on the scoreboard tonight.
And it is a running clock here. Extra point is up, and it's good.
That's going to bring our score to 35-7. Warriors over the Wildcats. 2:50 left in the third quarter with the clock running. We'll be right back after this quick word from our sponsors.
For nearly 50 years, South Arkansas floors have been covered by El Dorado custom carpets. And not just carpets, but true hardwood, laminate, stone, porcelain, ceramic, marble, and more. And guess what? It doesn't end with just floors. El Dorado custom carpets carries a tremendous selection of backsplash, wall tile, and area rugs. The truth of the matter is, one commercial can't come close to telling you everything you can find at El Dorado custom carpets. 1601 East Main Street in El Dorado. Call 870-862-4945.
Need equipment for your next job? Don't settle for the traditional rental experience.
The rental experience with Equipment Share is a great experience. We rent everything from dozers to skid loaders, mini excavators, even smaller hand tools. They've always got what we need. They're timely. The billing is quick and accurate. The guys are able to set it up. They do it through their phone. I love Equipment Share. Renting with Equipment Share is not like any other company out there. It's 1,000 times better.
Equipment Share, you just saw them there, and they are our full season kickoff sponsors. We have another pooch kick, and it'll be fair caught at the 25-yard line for LRCA.
Yeah, Carter, and one real quick word that I want to say from our sponsors before we keep going here is a huge thank you to LSB Industries, serving our community for several decades, providing all kinds of ammonium nitrate and other needs. LSB has been providing jobs and community in El Dorado and South Arkansas for decades now. Lining back up for the play here.
Eli Robertson is now in a quarterback, the backup, and LRCA has emptied their bench outside of their offensive line. So their starting group is still out there. The handoff was taken by number 13, Adam Cruz.
Yeah, Carter, that's going to keep the clock running. We've got 40 seconds left here in the third quarter, 35-7 of Little Rock Christian over the Wildcats. And you're right, they do have their bench out there now with the clock running. The Wildcats are trying a couple of different guys out in coverage as well, seeing if they can make anything happen. And when you're down like this, I mean, there's no reason not to see what the next man up can do.
Robertson snap, outside zone handoff, taken up the middle once again by Cruz.
Yeah, that Cruz kid seemed to be pretty fast. I don't have what year he is, but he was able to run it pretty quick, and it looks like his coach will actually be subbing him out, and that's the end of the quarter. And so, Carter, we're gonna stay here through the quarter for a minute, and so we're down 35-7 going into the fourth quarter, but the Wildcats were able to score on their last drive. So, what are some things that we can look forward to as we go through the rest of this quarter and maybe look forward to against Camden next week?
Yeah, basically, you just turn the page to next week here. Get some good snaps, make sure everyone stays healthy. You didn't get shut out. That's one thing you always want to try to avoid. I understand in this society it's all about wins and losses, and I totally get it, especially with Chris Hill, who is, an old school type of coach. But you do take some positive momentum going into next week, knowing that Camden probably won't be as good as this team for LRCA. Now, a little bit about LRCA as a program. They did win the state title back in 2018. They upset Pulaski Academy, and they were actually finalists in 2017, but the state champions in 2015, 2016, 2018, 2019, and 2020 in Palm Squad.
Carter, that's a team that I'm really glad that we don't have to play as Pulaski Academy. They always put together such a strong team. Coach Kelly over there is a phenomenal coach. I was at Ouachita with his son, Zach, who played for the Ouachita Tigers. And, man, that is just some smart football played over there.
It's Cruz again on the handoff. And if there is a bright spot, again, it's number 30, Jervalen Jr., who's just been all over the place. Jeremiah Mitchell, the safety, also in there. And then number 19, Jaquavian Hampton, who's only a sophomore, steps in. And speaking of Hampton, defensive coordinator Wes Abels, former head coach of the Hampton Bulldogs. We get here, second and short, 11:31 left to go in this game. Once again, pistol formation for LRCA. They've been in this formation for about 90 or so % of the plays tonight. And it is a handoff here to the left side. Cruz will pick up the first down.
So that's gonna bring the clock down, counting down to 11 minutes left in the game. That's going to put Little Rock Christian at the Wildcat 49 across the midfield mark, 1st and 10. And as Little Rock, I have to mention, is the size difference between Little Rock Christian and El Dorado on the line right now. Little Rock Christian has about 3 or 4 inches on almost every single El Dorado Wildcat.
And it is another handoff by Cruz up the middle for roughly 7 yards.
Yeah, it's going to be a gain. Let's see here, and put them at about the 42-yard line. And Carter, do you notice anything about number 53 that's different than any of the other players on the field at all?
Yeah, he's got Power 4 offers. We've talked about him a little bit tonight. That is number 53, the left guard, Christian Lewis. I'm still shocked he's still in the game. Oh, what a play! That is number 99. And I want to shout him out as well. He took some really good coaching from Jimmy Johnson. Gavin Briggs, who's only a sophomore. This is his first ever varsity game. On the sideline, he took his helmet off for a second. He was down on himself. Jimmy Johnson, the longest tenured coach on this staff, settled him down, told him to keep his head up, and look at what he does. Goes out there and makes a nice play.
Well, and I'll tell you, Carter, I've never been more prepared to run through a brick wall than when Coach Jimmy Johnson tells me to.
Eli takes the snap here. It's still a handoff to the left side with Cruz.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. That is once again the sophomore, number 19, Jaquavian Hampton, rattles him all the way back to El Dorado. Wow.
Carter, he exploded into the backfield and, I mean, picked that guy up off his feet without picking him up. Just knocked him off his feet, and he had some hang time.
And this should be a punt. El Dorado will be back to receive it. That's number 5, the senior, Bratavian Brown. Once again, LRCA really good on special teams. Cam Mitchell, the punter, who's been blasting him for kickoffs, has made all his extra points tonight as well. This kid has an absolute Brennan O'Donohoe bazooka.
And it's actually going to be Cortland Rozier who receives the kick. They switched out last second on who was going to field the kick. Going to be recovered by Little Rock Christian Academy's number 56.
And let's see what El Dorado elects to do. It will still be Cannon Jacobs at quarterback. Clock moves, 8:21 left to go. Once again, Wildcats will be on the road next week at Camden. We'll have the broadcast for you right here on South Arkansas Now. Once again, we appreciate everyone dealing as this was a very metal setup right here. It always affects connections, especially on the road. We get Jacobs here, little middle screen. It is incomplete here as it sets up second down.
Yeah, Carter, it looked there like Jacobs just short-armed it a little bit. He wanted to make sure it looked like he was trying to aim the ball instead of just let it go and get it to his guy. He was trying to make sure that he didn't throw it too high, and he actually wound up throwing it just a little too low. And that's one thing that your quarterback has to be confident in is his arm and his ability to make the ball hit the target and not aim it, but just let it rip.
Cannon Jacobs. Handoff here will go for no gain. That is number 15, Jalen Dunn. Or was that Britain? No,
it's 15. It's number 15. So that's going to bring us to a 3rd and 10, Carter. 7 minutes left in the game. Ball on the Wildcats, 21.
Jacobs, a handoff here to Dunn. Can he bounce it to the right side? A cutback for Dunn. Does he have enough?
And it's not going to be enough.
Does he have enough? It's going to be a tight mark here. Referee will give him the first down.
And that's going to be enough for another Glenn Mechanical first down for the El Dorado Wildcats. With everything from plumbing to HVAC, swimming pools, you have a need. Let Glenn Mechanical meet it.
Cannon Jacobs takes the snap. Play action, quick to Washington. What a run after the catch by Washington. Falls forward for 6 here, and it'll set up second and medium.
Carter, I think that's one thing that we're going to be able to look forward to a lot this season is the screen passes to the wide receivers. After the last drive, I actually heard Coach Hill bringing in his wide receivers for a quick word, and he was saying, hey, guys, we got to be prepared for the screens. We got to be prepared to block because nothing happens if our play gets blown up as soon as it starts. So we've got to be prepared to make a block.
Jacobs takes the handoff here. No, he just keeps it himself. And it'll be enough for another Glenn Mechanical first down.
Absolutely. Those are the things that we like to look for, Carter. With 5.5 minutes rolling on the clock, Little Rock Christian up 35-7 here in the fourth quarter. What I really want to see El Dorado do here is score on this drive, show some fight, see what we can do against this Little Rock Christian second string, see what holes we can poke in their defense.
Jet sweep handoff to 12 here. That is a really, really tough run by Cortland Rozier. And it'll set up second and roughly 4 here.
Yeah, Carter, the more that I get to see him run in person, the faster I realize that Cortland is. I mean, I couldn't really tell from the film what kind of speed he had, but now I see he's got some feet on him.
Here's Jacobs. Oh, and the ball is on the ground, and it'll be a big loss here for the Cats.
Yeah, Carter, looks like some miscommunication from the Wildcats on who needed to be running where, and we had a collision right there as we were trying to hand off the ball by two Wildcat football players. Luckily, we were able to recover it with 4.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. About 3rd and 8 with the ball on the Wildcats 44.
And it looks as if LRCA is bringing everyone, and then they back out. Jacobs steps up, looks to fall forward here. He almost picks up the first down. It's right in front of us.
Going to leave him about 2 yards short, Carter. And it looks like the offense is going to stay out on the field. And Carter, I don't see any reason why not. There's nothing to lose here by going for it, seeing what we can make happen. And if it does happen, it helps boost the confidence of our guys. So I definitely want to see us go for it here and get the conversion. I want to see our guys come off of this play right here with a smile on their face.
3:38 left to go. Can the Wildcats score? They first need to pick up a first down. Jacobs on the zone repull. Breaks it to the right side.
Oh, my gosh.
Come on, Jacobs gets a good block. To the 20. To the 10. Dives for the pylon, and he will be out at the 5-yard line. The best play of the night for number 8, Cannon Jacobs.
Well, Carter, and that goes back to exactly what I was talking about. You give Cannon Jacobs the opportunity to run. You give him an opening. He has amazing vision, and he's got legs on him. Man, he has speed. You know, what do they have him officially listed at on the height? 5'10", 5'11", but he has speed, Carter. He's able to make those legs move fast.
And it is Jacobs. He hands it off here to Dunn, and he powers in for an El Dorado Wildcat touchdown on the road. The Cats cut the lead. The score is now 35-13.
Yeah, absolutely, Carter. And, you know, that's the thing is we just keep running the ball up the middle. You know, even though Little Rock Christian is a bigger team than us, 7A has a larger opportunity to pull from on skill players. These Wildcats don't back down. They wanted to fight it in, and they got another touchdown. And they're going to take the kick up, and it is good. All right, and so that is going to make the score 35-14. Little Rock Christian Warriors up over the visiting Wildcat with 2 minutes and counting left on the clock. We're going to take a quick break after this from SouthArkansasNow.com.
LSB Industries is committed to playing a leadership role in the production of low and no carbon products that build, feed, and power the world. Our El Dorado carbon capture and sequestration project is helping the company reduce its carbon footprint while enabling us to provide our customers with low carbon products.
Did you know that if your home air conditioning unit is already running and you turn the thermostat down to try to make it cooler in the house, you could be doing more harm than good? This is why you call Dison Service Company the experts of home comfort solutions. That's another way of saying Dison Service Company helps make your home a place of comfort and relaxation. Call Dison Service Company today, 862-0409.
All right, and that's going to bring the clock counting down right at 1 minute left to go in the game. 35-14, Little Rock Christian Warriors winning over the El Dorado Wildcats. And this kickoff is going to be brought to you by Equipment Share. Whether you need a pipe fitter or an excavator, get your project kicked off right with Equipment Share over on Industrial Road here in El Dorado.
It'll probably just be a pooch, and it is indeed that. And it goes straight out of bounds here.
And that's going to be a flag on the Wildcats. And, you know, although it doesn't really matter in a game like this with 30 seconds left, those penalty flags still add up to stats on the season. It's going to skew us just a little bit. I would have liked to see us keep it in play there and just get a stop.
And Little Rock Christian doesn't even need to take a snap here. If there is one bright spot, even though with the running clock, El Dorado only gave up 7 points in the second half.
Yeah, Carter, and that's exactly what I was talking about. So, you know, even though we lose 35-14 against Little Rock Christian, when we came back from the half, we were playing like a different ball team. We were playing with like a team who had fire. We played like a team that wasn't scared to go out there and fail, because we know that ultimately success comes after the failures. And so I was really glad to see us be able to get 14 points up on the board in the second half. And I really want our Wildcat fans not to be discouraged by this game, but actually encouraged, because we have to remember that Little Rock Christian is a 7A school. So they're going to be a bigger school than us. They're going to have more opportunities for the just to pull from and skill. And so even though we take this away as a loss in the win-loss column, I'm still proud of our guys. I think that when they came back in the second half, they fought hard.
El Dorado Wildcat football, a tough one on the chin, and while we want to remain positive, I will guarantee you Chris Hill and his staff will treat this as an unacceptable loss at the same time, because El Dorado, they just got jumped on early in this one, Jax, with turnovers, squirts, if you will, in the special teams game. So everything needs to get cleaned up, because next week in a rivalry game, Nick Vaughn and the Camden Cardinals, you know that they love nothing more than to beat the Wildcats.
No, you're 100% right, Carter. And as teams are shaking hands on the field, getting ready to walk off, getting ready to go home for the night, I want to remind you that our post-game show is brought to you in part by Dison Service Company. Welcome to the Dison Service Company post-game show. And now's not the time to discover your heat or AC isn't keeping up. Trust your local Lennox dealer, Russell Dyson, and his team at Dison Service Company. Call 870-862-0409 and keep your home comfortable all season long. And so, Carter, Little Rock Christian's coming away with a win here. And when we come back from the break, we'll talk about what we can look forward to again next week against Camden. But we'll be right back to you after this break. SouthArkansasNow.com.
At the Karl Malone family of dealerships, Ford El Dorado, Chevy El Dorado, Toyota El Dorado, and Karl Malone Toyota of Ruston, the mailman always delivers. With over 200 brand new vehicles and over 150 quality pre-owned options, you're sure to find the perfect ride. Looking to sell? We'll buy your vehicle, paid on the spot. 4 dealerships, one name you can trust, Karl Malone. Because when it comes to great deals, the mailman delivers.
Derek Henry.
Hey, Jake from State Farm. I saved so much bundling, it inspired my workout. Auto! Home!
Okay. And this is auto again, right?
Auto!
Hey, this is my living room.
Home!
Bundling. Just another way to save with the personal price plan.
The dog isn't allowed on the couch, Derek.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Whether it's protecting families from the predators in nature, to helping food taste better and last longer naturally, or just making sure the local ball field is at its best, Lanxess is involved in our everyday lives. With more than 450 employees locally and more than $32 million in payroll each year, Lanxess is doing their part to be a good neighbor and leader in South Arkansas. With that in mind, remember to call before you dig. Know what's below. In Arkansas, it's the law and it's a free service. Call 811 before you dig. This brought to you by Lanxess. Did you know that if your home air conditioning unit is already running and you turn the thermostat down to try to make it cooler in the house, you could be doing more harm than good? This is why you call Dison Service Company, the experts of home comfort solutions. That's another way of saying Dison Service Company helps make your home a place of comfort and relaxation. Call Dison Service Company today, 862-0409.
All right, guys, welcome back to the stream of Wildcat Football presented to South Arkansas Now, brought to you in part by Promed Ambulance. Tonight's stream brought to you in part by Promed Ambulance, world-class care and hometown values. Check them out at PromedAmbulance.com. Tonight's game is also brought to you in part by Cook's Body Shop. Look, bad things happen. Maybe it's a small fender bender or a full-blown insurance claim, but when it happens, look to Cook's. All right, Carter, so we're... Coach Hill's over there talking to our Wildcats right now, giving them a pep talk, letting them know that we still got to come back and do it. Same time again next week against Camden. Coach, Carter, tell me what you know about Coach Vaughn over there in Camden and what we can expect from a Camden team that we've held a strong rivalry against for a very long time.
Well, it's important to note that Nick got his real start at the high school level with the El Dorado Wildcats, winning a ton of state championships with Scott Reed as the offensive coordinator. And Camden Fairview, they always have speed at the quarterback position. So it's going to be different. Tonight you played Kemp, the Henderson State commit. He was absolutely fantastic. He is not a runner. Next week, Camden's going to have a lot of speed in that backfield. Tonight was more about power, outside zone, pistol formation, just hammer left, hammer right, and they were able to establish a line of scrimmage. So next week, El Dorado's got to do a better job at that. But honestly, the big thing, whether or not you think every single coach that has ever existed hates one thing more than anything, and that's turnovers.
Yeah, absolutely. I was thinking he's saying turnovers, right? Turnovers are a momentum killer. They allowed Little Rock Christian to let's see, they scored the pick six. Did they get a scoring opportunity off? No, they did not. Cannon Jacobs stopped them going into the half off of another interception. But turnovers are going to kill the offense. They're going to kill a quarterback's confidence. And so we just can't allow things like that to happen. And a big thing there was just our ability to protect our quarterback. Little Rock Christian had a huge defensive line coming in and swinging in on our offensive line, had some really strong linebackers coming in and exploding on us. And so one thing that I'm looking forward to against Camden next week is seeing how our offensive line does against a team like Camden, seeing how our wide receivers are able to get open against a team like Camden, and seeing what kind of blanket coverage our DBs and linebackers do. And then now he was able to get through a couple times tonight, but number 30, let's see, who do we have at number 30 again?
Jervalen Jr.
Yeah, Jervalen Jr. I mean, I'm excited to see what Jervalen's going to do against the Camden team. He was able to explode through this big Little Rock Christian offensive line a couple times, and so I expect him to be an impact player next week against Camden. What do you think?
Yeah, I expect that. And then the bottom line, and look better in this game than he did last year. And he was an all-state running back last year. He has a chance to put himself up there with some of the best El Dorado running backs of all time. A lot of you old schoolers remember John Johnson, who went on to play at Oklahoma State. He is a little bit tinier, but runs just as powerful as him. And honestly, I've been watching El Dorado Wildcat football for a very long time, and I know it's just one game, but seeing him in person for the first time, he is really going to carry this Wildcat team to quite a few wins. So thankfully, he will be healthy for the rest of the year. Also tonight, I want to shout out Christian Williams, a sophomore, first game of the year. And honestly, it was more of a handoff situation for the slot wide receiver, just taking end around after end around after end around for nice gains left and right. So that was honestly very impressive to see a youngster. And honestly, a lot of sophomores in this game just getting their teeth kicked in. I understand nobody wants to lose 35-14, but that could be a good thing, right? This ninth grade team was so daggum good. They've never really tasted something like this before. So now they have this nasty taste in their mouth. They don't want this to happen again. So, like you said, I am really excited to get on the road next week and take care of business against the Camden Fairview Cardinals. And as a former Wildcat football player myself, there's nothing more I hate than Cardinal Red on a Friday night. I cannot wait to see what the Wildcats are going to do. Now, I also want to shout out every this broadcast possible tonight. And guess what? It's only going to be better. Shout out to Sandy for this opportunity. It's been absolutely positively fantastic to be back in the broadcast booth tonight. So your final score, 35-14, Jack.
Yeah, Carter, 35-14, finishing up the score. Little Rock Christian coming away with the win tonight. However, Carter, I do want to tell our viewers tonight about something that's pretty important coming up, and that is on Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Be prepared to tune in to SouthArkansasNow.com for our show, Fifth and Goal, which will host the coaches from around Union County, including schools El Dorado, Parker's Chapel, Strong, Smackover Northlet, and Junction City. We're going to talk what happened tonight with all the teams around the county. We're going to look forward to next week's games and maybe talk a little bit of hog football. That'll come to you from Mystic Creek at 6 p.m. this Tuesday, Fifth and Goal, hosted by myself, Jack Sanford.
I'm pumped up, man. There we go.
Yeah, I'm pumped up, Carter. And so as we get ready to close out the broadcast tonight, I just want to say one more quick thank you to all of our sponsors. None of this happens tonight without the sponsors that we have providing coverage for you, for your Wildcat football team, able to watch the video tonight from home, not having to travel to Little Rock. So, guys, with that being said, we bid you farewell, good night, and we'll see you on Tuesday, 5th and Goal. I'm Jack Sanford. This is Carter Bryant, SouthArkansasNow.com. Thanks you, and good night.